started here. Hello, everyone. So, welcome to another Q&A session for Family Book Creator. Um, I'm gonna, obviously, if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to be covering some of the basics between, uh, or some of the changes from Family Book Creator 2019, which you got seeing here, to the Family Book Creator 2024. Um, I wonder if I can have both. Yeah, yeah, nope, I won't be able to have both on the screen at the same time. One of the things you'll see is this section here for selecting the ancestors. This is how it starts when you launch it, is a lot bigger. And one of the things you can do is you can do a partial name search. So you can type in, if you're looking for, say, someone like Patrick, you can find everyone that starts with that. You don't have to know, okay, what's their surname, what's their front name, so you can jump to them that way. Uh, Two main things that in Family Book Creator that have changed is one, like, common question has been, whether or not you want source citations or not. Uh, in 2019, it was under preferences in general, right down here, where you can tell it whether you want to insert them or have them as footnotes or endnotes. In Family Book Creator 2024, they're not under preferences under more, they're under items to include. And um, I am sharing my screen, Sheldon, so you should be able to see it. Can anyone else see my screen?
Yeah, I've got it.
I see your screen, John.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
Okay, so yeah, Sheldon, maybe try maximizing your screen size. So yeah, so now on here it's under 2000 items to include source citations. And well, while I'm here, you've also now got the option to had some people say, well, I don't want every citation listed, because especially like for a name fact, every citation goes to that. You can either you can start rating your citations, so you can either have you could exclude all unrated citations. So if you don't have a citation with a rating, then it won't be included, or others will be. Or you can have just exclude like poorly rated citations. Maybe a census isn't necessarily the best source for a birth date or something like that. Or you could just say only include these highly rated citations. Anyway, you got the option, so um, you got that option. Uh, One other thing will be now, I think it's just a name change for the photo album section. Well, 2019, it's photo album. And in Family Book Creator 2024, it's just called media. So, which is probably a little bit more apt since you can include, Word documents, PDF files, and HTML files. So, um, so let's see. Yeah, this stuff hasn't really changed. Now one of the big things here now is the preview feature. This is probably the biggest preview feature. Uh, so if you just click on preview and it will give you the first section of the starting family. And so I'll just so you see the families thing. Then you've got the arrow button so you can see, okay, here's what the media, all the text all prints out. And then complete here with the um, endnotes. So this is a way where you can tweak your settings and see how they actually affect your book. Uh, just- and then the other big thing now is you now have more control over these boxes. 'Cause you can go from before, I think they were just rectangular. Just move this over here. Yeah, so rectangular, I mean, you can have it no box. You can have, the curve collector, the bent. You can assign colors. Just do change the point size. You can do fill size based on various colors. You can do a texture fill. I mean, this is just stuff you can just sit and play with. For sometimes like these border styles, you may not always see some changes. Like say if you change the border color, which yeah, I mean you can even play with the colors for the lines. Whether to include the pictures or not. One thing for this, it can do silhouettes for if we don't have a picture for someone. I'll say like here, like Patrick, um, dad as a child, we don't have one. So if we turn that off, Patrick's silhouette will disappear. Yeah, so now it's gone. Uh, Difference between always or on free space is on this example, it doesn't really well, this isn't a good example for on free space. But basically, like say for these uh grandparents, if none of these had profile photos, then it wouldn't leave the blank space like it did for Patrick. So it would shorten up the box styles. I don't know. Here, let me just start from Patrick here. This might be a good example. Yeah, so see here, since I don't have profile photos for none of these, it shortens up the box. So that's the difference between on free space or say always. If I had it always, then it will put in silhouettes. But you can see on the on free space for Joseph's siblings, there were okay, where'd the preview go? Yeah, see here, always go back to the on free space. Yeah, so for Joseph Patrick, like his siblings here, I didn't have profile photos, but it's still, since Joseph had one, these people did have the profile photos. But like I said, up above the grandparent, great grandparent levels, I didn't have any profile photos, so it just shortens up those boxes. Um, yeah, then color design, like I said, you can have it colored by generations just to make them stand out a little bit more. Like I said, there's a lot of playing, and this is where the preview feature is uh really nice. So here's, yeah, see it, this changed just the box colors. And this is where the border colors. And this is where, maybe that's where having a thicker line goes into effect. If you had it down to like the standard quarter point, you probably wouldn't see any noticing difference. Just leave it there. Uh, Boxes. Gradient. Yeah, and seeing this uses that same color fill for that line. Where before you notice it didn't have that because it was overwritten because I had that texture fill. So that kind of overrode the color. So that is something you just have to be aware because certain things can override others or like I said, that's just the thing. The preview feature is great, especially when you're playing around with the box styles and whatnot. But then you can, like I said, it will also go into play. You may just have to go down to see how certain sentences work out. Um, just go, whoops. Start the preview. Oh, yes. I knew I was forgetting one thing, so it's like other nice thing now is you've got a lot more control over the fonts and styles and basically like here with color, because like here lifespans you can maybe have that a different color. I'm just gonna change it just something more obvious. One thing I like doing is like person notes. Yeah, I like having them like a different color. They just stand out a little bit better. Yeah, I do have that as blue, but uh, let's go back to John F. Kennedy. I've got notes on him. It's John. Yeah, the JFK. So, let's see. Yeah, so here, this person notes here, you can see here, this here is it's blue. I don't know. And then likewise, I changed, well, I did it just to be more obvious. I mean, I wouldn't use that color in the real book. Um, it's also got a thing now, like sometimes you may have some things where you got like a really long surname, and it will automatically reduce the font so that that surname will fit in the box without word wrapping. So that's just, I think that's, I believe is an automatic setting. Borders, soft edges, source citations. Yeah. So yeah, so in a nutshell, this is it. I mean, you've just got a lot more control over using color. Uh, I mean, the font size and stuff you always had, but you now you got the colors. So in a nutshell, that's the new stuff in 2024. I mean, does anyone have any specific questions? Oops. So this will be the Q&A part of this one. So feel free to speak up if you got any questions. I mean, how many of you are using Family Book Creator 2024 now? So,
Just as a comment,
yeah.
this is Marlene. I think that one of my problems is that I was using my old profile from the previous version. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that profile and just go back to the standard and then create my own new profile based on all of these decisions.
Well, you can. Well, I mean, the Family Book Creator 24 will bring in um your 2019. You've just got more settings.
Right. And
So,
some of them don't quite work out very well. So
yeah.
I think I may just start all over and create a new profile.
Yeah, that's always a choice. Because, yeah, because you can load and save the settings. And the
Right.
nice thing is if you would ever want to go back to 2019, you can save like your settings, even in 24. If for whatever reason, say you would want to go back to 2019, you can still load those settings from 2024 into 19. I mean, you won't get the new features, but you can still load the settings.
Yeah.
So, But in general, it's like there's nothing in 19 that 24 can't do. So, but it's just nice you do have that capability.
There's
So,
just so much more in 24 than there was in 19.
right. Yeah. Yep. So, privacy. Yep. Um, Yeah, and also it's always a good idea just to make sure you're running the latest build, even if you are, say, still using, say, Family Book Career 2019 or who knows, maybe you're still running Family Book Career 2017. Um, so okay, yeah, Stefan said I've got 2612. How do I run? Or you got 2608? Um, probably one that easiest way is well, usually it will sometimes pop up saying, "Hey, you're running an older version," and it will take you there. Uh, Otherwise, if you go to Family Book Creator, uh, the user group, in the feature post sections, there's always one from Stefan where he announces the latest builds. So whether it's 2612 for Windows 2611, really you can use either link. This first link will take you to the downloads area.
So the latest link is 2612.
Yeah, for Windows. So
Okay,
if
because
you
I
are
have
running,
2603.
yeah, just go download, pick your version. Like I said, even if you're running 2019, uh, yeah, 2612, you can just download it. If you haven't downloaded the user's guide, I always recommend downloading that. That doesn't change often, like 2019, that was last changed in 2022. Um, But yeah, just download that and then run it. Just make sure Family Book Creator and Family Tree Maker aren't running when you install it. And you should get a prompt saying, "Hey, yep, I found it. You're running version 2608. We're upgrading it to 2612." So, and you can always go to the change history for Windows and they'll tell you what changed. So yeah, if you're running 2603, here's what changed in 2608. Like I said, this was just affected Family Book Creator 2024. So if you're running 2019, it'd be no new things. But for 2612, there are some things that, affected
Okay.
multiple versions. So this one affected 17, 19, 24. This one affected all versions. So it's always just a good idea, just get the latest build. So, um, okay, Sheldon wrote on some people I'm getting this. Armin died at Arthurdale Cemetery. He didn't actually die at the cemetery. Any way to change this? Well, get rid of Arthurdale Cemetery from the death fact from that person. And I always put the cemetery name in the burial fact. So, like I said, Family Booker just takes what's in your tree. Um, so let me just change this. So let's just say if I just said, you know, well, here, I'll just say, I've been having a problem with the program freezing when trying to create a book. Uh, Hope the latest version will fix the problem. I don't know if there's been any speed improvements from 2608 to this. Usually, I don't know, by freezing is it, because I know like processing indexing can sometimes take can take a while depending upon how big your book is. Uh, Otherwise, and I mean, don't know what your computer is. Know how fast your computer, how much RAM. Uh, Because say you could either just try waiting, or you can. Because like it's tough to say if the computer is actually frozen or if it's still just processing. Um, my first gut instinct would be is just let it wait a little bit while longer. Just shut down anything you're not running. Don't have your browser going. Don't uh, uh, have other programs open like Word stuff. Basically, just have Family Tree Maker and Family Book Creator. Worst case, maybe reboot before you create a book, because then that will just kind of reset everything. Said, okay, I've tried waiting overnight. I have to crash Family Tree Maker to start over. Okay. Well, if it's actually freezing, then you should send an email to Family Book Creator support at familybookcreator.com. So, and Stefan can probably give you some other tips. Um, yeah, so I saw a post saying we can put a Word doc in Tree Maker and Family Book Creator will put it in. Yeah, because let's see. I've got let me just oh, I didn't want to open that. Oh, okay, that's just a text. Well, this is a text file, but I think this well, this is a text file, but this is basically same thing, whether it's an HTML file. You'll use that using custom categories. You'd want to use handle story as text. This is how you can bring in a document. So this will work for a Word file, HTML file, text file. This is all done via custom Family Book Creator fact types, media types. Sorry, media categories. And if you're ever wondering what they are, you just
Are there any new ones in that list?
no, not in 2024. Hang on here.
What about album walk? What's happening with that?
You would have to talk to Software McKeev on that. I have no idea when they're going to release that.
It's been going
Um,
on for a number of years.
yeah, since I don't know, 2018 or 19. Um,
Yeah,
each year at Roots Tech, I keep hoping. But the big thing is Family Book Creator does support it already. So, because they do have some sample files that you can use and stuff. Uh, those that don't know, album walk is the way you can take a picture and then you can start recording audio. You can basically tell the story, click on a person,
yeah,
tell a story of that person. Basically, tell the story. It could be a wedding,
yeah.
and you can tell the story of that picture. And then Family Book Creator can have like the transcribed contents in the book. Uh, and let me just I forgot. Oh yeah, I know what it is. Best thing place for the desktop, yeah, is when I told you to download the user's guide. Yeah, because if nothing else, this appendix for these media categories. It tells you the custom categories. It gives a brief description, and then it has a nice little reference as to the page number where you can include it.
Where is that?
This is the appendix. This is in the Family Book Creator User's Guide
Oh, okay.
that you can download back on um, back here. So,
Okay.
and then for your version. And then it's like I wouldn't, you know, and even this, and then here's even custom fact types that it can use for. So
Okay.
if nothing else, it's like print out just those two pages. And just as a side note, if you do like use like Lulu or something like that to print books, I know firsthand these files are like basically print ready. You can just shoot it to Lulu and design a quick cover and then you can have a printed copy. And I don't know, it's like I don't know, it was maybe like $10 or something, you know, just soft bind, standard color, you know. So if you would like a printed guide, you can do that, you know, relatively cheap. You know, or you can always bring it to a local print shop and so, but I can't stress enough to download the user's guide. Uh, and now, if you do add these media categories, you do have to be exact. So, like if you use copy and paste, if you do want a little cheat, in the family book creators group, let's see, I haven't been here. There is a file section. Yeah, there's this FBC categories 2017 because I it is this is basically a tree a backup of a tree. There's one person in it, one media item. Um and just as a example here, let me I'm going to just do a I'm going to just create a new tree. So I'm going to just type in my name. So, so this is a brand new tree. Oops. And I'm going to let me see here. Just find a quick photo. Yeah, I'm gonna just no, that's a former dog of mine. Okay, so I've got media, and let me go back to get a document here. Ba-ba-ba. Here's like a PDF file. And now, if I wanted to print out that, well, you can see I've just got the standard media categories. But if you download that one backup file, you do have to restore it as a tree, but then you can just go File, Merge.
So do you have a file with all of them in it?
Yes, that was the this FBC categories.
So it does have all of the categories in it.
Yeah, most of them, because like I said, with the image size categories, I mean, you can have like there's a lot because you can do custom categories even from like 10%, 11%, 12%, 13, 14, all the way up to
Okay.
100%. I
Okay.
don't have all those, but
Oh, okay.
uh let's see. Yeah, FBC. So here I'll import it, include, merge. Basically there's one person, I even named them to be deleted. Uh, so yeah, so I've got this person to be deleted with a media item. I did have to do that. I can delete this person now and that media item. Uh, but now if I go into view media details, I now have all these categories. So I can say, okay, if I want that handled as text, I can do that. PDF, I have the option of treating it as an image. But so that's a quick way to get it. They're spelt right and stuff. And it also adds in those media categories, which has family section, privacy protection, and married name. So that's a quick way to just bring them into your tree. So you don't have to do any typing and stuff like that. Uh, I mean, depending on the book you're doing and the media, especially with the media size, yeah, because I just copy, the 50, 60. I mean, there's some where I've had to change some where, okay, this particular picture I want like 85% of the full width or something, or, weird name. So but it's like, well, it's like the standard width for media is like 48% of the width. So it's like I never use 50, but you could. So sometimes I'll tweak some of these or, delete some of them. Um, but that's just on a per case basis. So, but
So there is a one that you can use with a PDF to treat it as an image, you said?
right. PDF is the only thing you can have it treated as a text file or treated as an image. Uh, the And likewise, if you treat it as an image, then yeah, then it will be just like any image. It will be default to a 48% width. Uh, so let's see, this is like a two-page document. So if I included this, yeah, I've got that as image here. Let me just launch. I can just show you
So
here.
where is your where did you add that to your image? I didn't see it.
Oh, and the media details use, oh,
Yeah, I
I
didn't see
unchecked it.
add
So yeah,
anything.
yeah, right there.
Handle story as an image. Okay. I
Yeah,
I
so
was
if
thinking
I,
of some
this will
handle
treat this
PDF
as a
as an image.
text or as an image now without assigning any category to as text or as image. Family Brick Creator just won't do anything with it. Um,
So it's treat story as an image.
yeah, it's the hang on, starting.
Okay.
No, let me close down Family. Yeah, close down Family. Doing Zoom and kind of doing Zoom and this can be a little taxing sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think here, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second.
John, if this is recorded, is it going to be in the family book creator on
Yeah,
Facebook?
it'll be on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
So
And you'll have a link to it.
yeah, well, that's in the featured post section.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. This is back up now again. No, actually, let me just tell that to do for all individuals. Yeah, so here it basically did, but see, it's like 48%.
Okay.
I mean, if you'd want it full page, well, here I'd have to exit it. Then that's where you could assign those
Those other ones.
the things like make it like full page, stuff like that. This
Okay.
can sometimes be if you have like a Word document with pictures in it, Word has a nasty habit of always using like absolute referencing. And if your margins aren't exactly the same, it can, you bring it into Family Book Reader, it can adjust the placements of the pictures.
Well, I've dabbled a little bit and I've made sure that the Family Book Creator um, book has the same settings as the Word document. Is
Yeah,
that
even
correct?
that can be differ because, because if you've got like the mirror margin or
Yeah, I turned that off.
yeah, typically on a typical book though, especially if it's going to be, more than say 200 pages, it is nice to have the mirror margins because you'll have the gutter. So when the book opens up, the inside margins will be greater than the outside margins.
Yeah,
But
Rebecca said not to do that until
yeah,
the end when you're ready to actually.
yeah, and I've never understood why for that because you're changing the margins and so that can affect things. But
Huh.
there's different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's just my way. But one thing is uh if you really can't get it to work, you can save the Word document as a PDF till it treat it as an image. Um,
Mm,
the
yeah.
only downside is you do have the option of with a PDF, well, if you or a Word doc, if you tell it to use as text, then you have the option of putting it like before or after the family chart. So if you would want to use one of these features, uh, then you have to use it as a text. So, but yeah, see this, if I just tell this as a text file, now I have to go back in here, do a preview. Because as text now, we don't have to use size categories. But see, yeah, see it does.
Use it.
Yeah. And like I said, a PDF
Mhm.
file as a text, and for this particular thing, probably is not the best
Right.
example to use. It is designed more for Word documents, but um, so like I said, this particular file wasn't the best example for that. Um, so anyway, let me see how. Yeah, okay. So are there any other questions? Like I said,
John,
well,
when you brought all of those um, qualif media categories over to from, I think you got them in the user guide. Could you review how you did that again?
oh, I did that by merging.
You
Here, let
went
me.
to you went to FBC categories somewhere. I think it was in the user book.
Well, yeah, you can do it one. Yeah, you can do it through. the easiest way in the file section of the Family Book Creator Users Group is to download this file. It's a tree backup. You'll download it, and then you have to restore this as a tree because this is a tree backup.
I don't understand what you mean. It's a tree.
It is a family tree because it's like I can literally just open up this tree. Um, it is a tree with one person and one. It is a tree with one person and one media item in it. And in this tree, I have all those media categories of
This isn't the new tree you created right now. This is something
no,
you
no,
keep
but
in the background.
this is the tree that you download. Because once you download this, what you're gonna,
Then you merge the two trees
yeah,
together.
yeah, because then you'll merge that tree into whichever tree you want.
where you want that, where you
So I
want those.
took this tree and then I went File, Merge. I selected that tree and that's it. Then in that tree, it added this person to be deleted and that media item. And like I said, now I can actually delete this person from my tree, including that media item. So that person that I recently merged is now gone, but all those media categories are still there.
Hmm. The other way you have to do it is you have to type each one of them in that you want to use. Is
Right.
that
You
right?
go to, yeah, media, go to like categorize media and then
Yeah,
just click
that's what
add.
I've done. That's what I've done in the past.
Yeah.
I've just added the ones I wanted,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, and like I said, if there's some that you don't play with, like this one, okay, I'll never use, I can just delete it. Maybe this one, oh, maybe I probably won't use that, but maybe I want like an 85 or something.
Well, then, when you first initially created that pseudo tree with um, one person in it and that media item, did you have to type all of those in?
Yep. Actually, I
Uh,
copied and pasted,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, copy it.
I had to
Sure.
type them all in.
John,
So,
can
Okay.
you on that color design for each of the generations for the boxes?
mm-hmm.
Um, I'm looking at it on my laptop and I have colored design colors by generation. But do you have to use these color schemes? It says rainbow, plasma, blah blah blah. Doesn't it have just a
Well, you've got
where you can pick
choices
the
of
different
color.
colors you want?
Let me bring this up.
It doesn't have something where you can just pick, you know, generation one, you want it blue, generation two, you want green, something like that.
If you're doing by that, uh, well, you got a variety of choices, but yeah, I don't think you can specify the specific
Okay.
other than, but I mean, you do have the option. Well, yeah, no, I mean, you've got a variety of things, but no, you can't individually say, I want this color for this generation.
Okay.
But like I said, you do
That's what
have
you, that's where you
choices.
get the colors though for the different generations is
Yeah,
right there.
if you do it by
Okay.
that. I mean,
Okay.
if you've got your own colors, like you've used color coding, you can have it do that.
Oh, okay.
So if you've assigned particular colors, like this one
Ah,
just has that, but it's
okay.
you can do it that way.
All right.
So in that case, then you can specify the colors by assigning the color code, but that's not by generation though. That's
Yeah.
more like by I mean not unless well well yeah, you could if you'd want to assign, okay, Joseph and Rose would be one color, then Patrick, Mary, John,
Right.
grandparents are another color, but that's going to be more of a manual process, and you can do it for up to the 8 colors.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, just see where my mouse went. There it is. So yeah, you can. It's just if you yeah. So
Can you adjust the thickness of the color around the box?
yeah, because that's like right here by box. Here you just increase the
Okay.
font size. Like here if you want
Okay.
a 3 point, that's right here. You do the thickness and
Okay.
so yeah, so there it's really thick. If I say drop it down to a 1/2 point,
Okay.
you're probably not hardly going to be able to see it. Oh yeah, there you can still see it, but if you
Okay.
drop it
That's
down to a
good.
1/4 point, it's and now it should be noted now if you are doing um
Yeah, I changed the color design to the turbo and I changed the boxes to it three
yeah
and changed the lines to rounded.
yeah, but see now if you know got rounded, let's see there's
I like that. It looks better.
yeah there was something, where was it? Not using. There was something about, now one thing, okay, here I got 3 point.
Hmm.
If on preferences, and let's see here, you tell this, no, oh, no, maybe not. No, that's actually for the image.
Oh, okay.
Because I told it like no border. If you tell it like soft edges, here, let's do soft border because that's got that picture. Yeah, because that was the box style. So, but yeah, you can have a color. Let's see here. Let's bring that up to a 2 point. Yeah, see kind of a color on the wedding picture. But
Hmm.
if you notice, like on like the Persian portraits, you don't have an option for the thickness because I told it soft edges, which basically it's along the lines of having a no border. So
Okay.
So, yeah, pictures. Oh yeah, that's that. So, and yeah, and doing the border colors for that too. So maybe you'd want a light color. I don't know. It's like I said, lots of options, and this is where the preview is really nice because you can see immediately what it's like, and so
I really do like the preview,
yeah,
the way it's set up now, because that was a bummer the way it
yeah,
was.
yeah. That's where we keep saying, okay, just try it just for a small one or two generations, and
Hmm.
generate the book, and so then you can cycle through and see how media is placed for that individual thing, and I mean, there are times where you want to see what the big book is gonna look like, and
Yeah.
but like I said, that's also where it's nice being able to load and save your settings. So it's like with this, it's like, okay, yeah, I've made a royal mess out of this, but when I do my main books, it's like I just load up my settings for whichever line I'm doing. So, but oh, are there any oh yeah, I was gonna show you for those that may not know, featured posts. Yeah, gonna have to scroll down. Can I use that? Yeah, here's where this is the YouTube channel. So and
And
this is
where's
on the
that
featured
again?
posts.
Featured post?
Yeah, this will be where any videos will be here. So here's like classes, stuff like that. So anything family book creator, charting companion will be in here. And yeah, and I even did create a shortcut. It's called at FTM plugins. So even if you don't want to do it, just go youtube.com/at FTM hyphen plugins.
Okay.
Or,
Um, let me take a picture of that. Hold on.
or yeah,
Wait a minute.
yeah. Well, here I can put this in the chat too. Let me just put this in the chat. That'll just probably be easier. Uh, oh yeah, and I move stuff all around on my chat going. Yeah. Yeah, I put that link in the chat, so
Okay.
yeah. And that link is also in the Family Book Creator users group too, or in the users guide. It's on like the third or fourth page. I think it's more of the long name, but um yeah, the second, third. Yeah. There's a link, yeah, fourth. Yeah, fourth page, it's the link to the Family Book Career Users Group. It's got the Rebecca Shamblin's book. And
Okay.
then, yeah, that link works too.
Okay.
I since Stefan did this, I created that little shortcut. So, but
Yeah, that is helpful.
But even this, you have the PDF, you can click on it and it'll take you right there.
Okay, good.
So
Okay, I think that helps a little bit.
yeah. No. Well, Sheldon, this side thing he said add Turing Companion for a much older version. I don't have the computer I'm using. Can I get it and put it on this computer? Um, Depends upon your version. If you got Family Tree Maker 2024, you will need Turing Companion 8. Uh, if you're using Family Tree Maker 2019, you can still use Turing Companion 7. Um, but you can go to there is a Turing Companion users group too. Um, and there's always the link where you can go to Progeny Genealogy, just download the latest build of Turing Companion. I mean, whatever you got the license for. Um, but yeah, you can do that. So,
John, how do you put have the chart separate, just on a page by itself
this
without all
chart
that?
here,
Yeah, just by itself on the page, and then the next page start out with one John, blah, blah, blah.
da, da, da. That's,
No page. Is it in
um,
the text and page layout? It says page break settings.
yeah, so it's like, you can have,
I don't see
by
that
default, it would be like before a family thing.
because I just like the chart by itself.
That chart is for the initial person and it's different than the chart for everybody else.
Yeah, but I like it on that. I don't like it.
If you'd
I like it
want
just
it,
like this.
let's see, include
I mean,
images.
if you're just doing just the first person, because that's the big chart, you just go into a Word and
Yeah.
insert a page break.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
I
So
probably
there's
the
think,
no
easiest
I
way
think,
of,
way.
yeah,
so
I
there's
don't
no
know
way
if
of
there's a
doing it
way
here.
to have it auto would, uh,
John,
yeah,
there is no option to insert a page break
yeah.
after a family chart. This is only possible right now if you insert a Word document after a family chart. Then the Word document can start on a new page, but there's no option to
Yeah.
automatically just have a chart on its own page.
Oh,
So you could then do it in Word, and it's really so simple to just insert page
yeah.
break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have already written it down as an enhancement, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what it will mess up though is your tables, your table of contents, etc., and you have to reset those.
Well, yeah, if you do any
Well, you
edits in
just
Word,
update your table of contents.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you do any edits in Word, I mean, yeah, you have to select the entire document, tell it to
And
repage
then
to
update.
update the table. So, I mean,
Right.
that's with any edits.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, anything that might affect move stuff around. So,
It would just be nice if it was an option so that you don't have to go and do all that.
any suggestions, send it to FBC support and Stefan will.
I think Stefan's got it.
So, unless you've already did it, I always say it's like, even if you're sure someone else has submitted it again, because I always say it's like the more people that request something, I'd say the likelier it would be to happen. So, but I mean, if you've already submitted it, then yeah, don't keep pounding them on it. But
One of the things that I would love to see is some optional layouts already done, other than the standard, so that you could load it, select a particular design, and say, I like this one, but maybe I'll make this tweak to it, but I like this one, rather than just the standard design. Because obviously, some people have come up with some really beautiful designs. And it takes a long time to be able to, with all these options, to be able to create something like that.
well, like I said, any settings, I mean, you can save and load them. So,
Oh, I know, I understand
but
that, but what I'm saying is we have the standard setting, and then if we could have, say, option one, two, three, and four, or one, two, three. Let's not ask for more than we need. Just to see what it could look like if you change some settings. And if you adopt that particular setting, then you could go in and make and tweak it, but you could adopt that setting rather than just the standard layout. So,
Yeah,
for
some
example, one of the things that I don't like is that heading. If you go to the top of the page, Sean, where you are with that tree that you've got, yeah,
oh,
family of the starting person. I hate that.
no,
Yeah.
I would like it to say family of so and so, or depending on what
no.
the design of the book is. So if somebody has, I don't know, created something that's very colorful, we have one choice that is very colorful, and you could load that as your standard, and then go and tweak anything else that you want within that.
No. Well, like I said, submit it to FBC support, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having, on for headers and footers, you got some pre-canned stuff. I mean, this doesn't affect that family of starting person, but it'd be nice to have, like a custom where you could just type in what you want, and but
Um,
but like I said, but this doesn't affect the actual
No,
family
I
of
just go
starting
in and
person.
edit it in Word.
Yeah, right now, yeah, that's what you have to do. So,
yeah, that's a bummer.
yeah.
Yes, I agree.
So support at familybookcreator.com. So,
Um, when you're starting your book, like I say, I'm new at this, so y'all y'all bear
no.
with me. Um, I noticed when I just did a zero generation for my mother, and it gave, all of her children. Okay, so I'm looking at the last page here, and it finishes up with information on me, and then it starts putting pictures in there of my mother right after me, like it's my pictures, but it's my mother's pictures. How do I put a page break there and get that off of that page? Because it's coming with my picture or my information,
Oh, okay, so the starting person is
my mother,
your mother, and you're doing a descendants or ancestors. But you're
ancestors.
okay, so if there's pictures of you, then that means there's pictures of you attached to your
So
mother.
this is pictures of my mother that's right after my bio,
But
and it's on the
John,
same page.
Oh, well, yeah,
wouldn't
because
she
that
have to go
that's
into the section where she would delete the descendant part of it?
yeah,
I don't know the exact
because
specific one.
yeah, because the way it goes is like okay, because John F. Kennedy. Okay, so I'll have, JFK,
But see, if you get down to me, there's
as the
four.
wife, because like, the kids,
Do you want me to share?
yeah, you can.
Okay, let me see.
I think yeah.
So I don't want these pictures on here, this page. So it starts out off after everything's done and then gives these pictures and there's no order.
Well, those pictures must be attached to your mother then.
Well, they're attached to my mom,
Yeah.
but
But
what
you
I'm
don't
saying,
want them printed?
well, wait a minute, hold on, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so like here's my
Yeah.
information, and then oh, this thing.
Yeah.
If
The
you go
rest
into this, if you go, I know exactly what she's
shouldn't
saying
these
because I
be on
had
the
the same
next page?
frustration.
Shouldn't
If
these two be on the next page?
Oh,
go
you
in,
just want,
yeah, if you go into this, if you go into Word, you can put the page break and put it on the next
Okay,
page.
so you
yeah.
still have
But
the
if
page
you
break.
don't want the information about you in this section, you can go into the settings for the children and not have it show directly under your mother and just have them show in that
This
in
is directly
next
under
generation.
me. This is not under my mother. This is under me. That's what
I
I'm talking.
understand, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. There is a setting, John, you'll know which setting I'm talking about because I don't have that kind of memory. But there's a setting where you could say you don't want the children to show immediately under the mother. You want to just not have them show, and then they show up if you make it a 2 generation or 3 generation chart, then they'll show up later on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's thing where you just tell it not to include the details of the children, but
Right, right.
Yeah, but this does not affect those images. Those two
no.
images are attached to their parents, either to
Right.
the mother or to the
Yeah.
father. And that's why they show up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't. There's nothing I can do here
You can
to keep that from showing up on this page, but go to the next page. In other words, I'd like them to start on the next page.
So then just put in a
no,
page.
I don't think so. Not
Okay,
unless
so I
you'd
can't do
include,
it in Family Book Creator. I'd have to do it in Word with a page break.
unless you'd add a word page that would be just a new line.
Okay, that's all right.
But
Uh, I just
I
want,
mean, you can also start playing around like with image sizes. So if you do a picture that's say bigger, that say maybe you would want that bigger, make that print out first. And if a picture is, uh like this JFK, let me just share my screen again. Like this. So say maybe you have a picture this big,
yeah.
that would force it onto as a new page.
Oh,
And
okay.
and there is a
Okay.
option,
So I just put one of those codes in there or whatever you call it.
yeah, and then and you can even tell it like here, show enlarged images first in the media item. So if you would have one picture, say okay, you'd want that maybe full page or even just bigger, that would force it onto a new page. And if you make that, you can use this option to say, okay, show enlarged images first, then that would
What
make it,
setting did you show to do that? Let me see.
huh?
Where is it to say enlarge?
It's under the media category. It's the second to the last thing here. I'm
Oh, okay,
checking it
got it.
off. Show enlarged images first in the media item.
Okay.
So if you make at least one picture, so like here with this now, if I preview,
Okay.
um, it should make that one item that I've got bigger front and center.
Okay. So I need the
So yeah,
first.
so there's
Okay.
blank space, and then yeah, but then this here now the photo album.
Okay. Yeah, that would work.
So yeah, if you got one picture that you do want big,
Okay.
I mean, make it full page, and then
Okay.
that's one way you can ensure, or like I said, maybe you don't need it to be full page, but maybe 80%, 70%, just something, and that you do on a case by case because it depends upon how much blank space you got on the previous page,
Okay.
to
But
force it
Renee,
onto a new page.
if
Okay.
you set up your tree, you've only got it as one generation, and then you're showing the children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just
If you
girl.
don't include the detail about the children, it will just list the children. And if you made it two generations, then the children would be forced after your mother and would be a separate generation after your mother. And the pictures would be up higher and separate. They would be
Yeah.
after your mother rather than after all the information about the children.
But it just kind of all depends upon
So you turn that
why
off
isn't this?
where it says include details.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, play with it and see how that looks for you.
Yeah.
Could you put all of the pictures into a Word file and then include
Ooh.
that Word file as a picture?
Well, you can't tell Word as a, you can tell it to use Word as an image file. You can't, you can
Okay,
only, if you want, you would
convert it
have
to
to save it as
PDF
a
then.
PDF and then tell it. But personally, you're going to have a lot more flexibility, I think, if you just include the images directly, for rearranging them and stuff. I mean, not unless you got a specific format.
Um,
But yeah, it's like,
John, I just changed that setting and it did move it to the bottom or to the next page.
yeah.
I like that.
So,
Okay, so I need to change that a little bit.
Another workaround would be to include a Word document without any contents and say that this Word document should start on the next page. If John allows me to share the screen, I can show this.
oh, sure.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
wait a
and
sec.
Sheldon said when it's ready to send off to be printed, what's the best format? Most people will want it in a PDF/A format, because the /A will embed the fonts. Um,
So I just wanted to show the example, John, so
yep,
Okay.
don't mix up everything now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
please.
for
I'm
example,
confused.
I will just launch Family Book Creator. This is just a small sample showing a part of the Kennedys. But if I click on preview, I think we are going to see one image. Yeah, so I have here just a simple family. We got the biography, and then we have one image. And this image, yeah, is just part of the page. And we would like to start this image on a new page, right? So one
Right.
workaround would be to add a text file. That's what I did already because I played with it. So I created an empty Word document. So this is a Word document without any contents, right? There's nothing inside. So I will close this. Oops.
Now you put that on that.
I added the Word document to
You didn't
FTM.
put it to the husband, you put it to the wife.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It was just by coincidence that I put it to the wife. It's just
Okay.
in this example, it's easy because there's just this one additional picture, and I could also have added it to him. Um, and I assigned two media categories. First, the one that it should be included as text,
Next.
and the second one, it should start on a new page, right? So,
Okay.
and we didn't see it before because I had to privatize it. So I will just unprivatize it now. And
Okay.
if I run the sample again, I think the picture of Arnold is being shown on the next page. But this is just a workaround, right? So just
Yeah.
the trick that you do not have to modify manually the Word document. So preview. So now you see there's
Yeah.
nothing on the page, and if we jump to the next page, we see the image.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is possible, right? You can always insert Word documents before or after a family chart. And in this case, it's just the first document included in the media file section. So uh, that's possible. And we can try if we get the same result if we would remove the file here, unlink media, uh, unlink selected, and add it to Arnold. Let's see what we get. Add media. Oh no, I do not want to add it because I can use an existing media, right? But then I have to know where it is. Okay, I will just add it from the file system. Empty Word file. Just wait a second. Empty Word file. Okay. We have to add the media categories again. So handle story as text and start a new page. Okay. By the way, by default, media items are sorted by date from the date field, which is a good idea. So there's not a random order. Tools plugin.
See, I would rather see the media items sorted. I like the idea of date, but sometimes you don't have a date for a picture, and I have put them in Family Tree Maker in a specific order. I would like it to follow Family Tree Maker's order.
Yeah,
Can I
then
do
you
that?
yeah, then you just need to use the custom order family tree maker. And if this is not used, you may just click on media and select one of the items, move it to the second position and move it back. Now it's not automatically sorted. Now everything has been custom sort order, right? It's
Uh-huh.
just that I get this custom sort order. But this only works if you have the media items just attached to the persons. When you start also attaching media items to source citations and facts, then it's going to be difficult because they do not show up in this area and you can't sort them.
Right. No, I only want to be able to sort them in the picture, the media items.
Yeah, okay.
And like I
Hmm.
said, and using the dates, I mean, you don't have to use the actual dates. So it's like if you got one picture that say, happened in say 1920, another one that happened in 1930, if there's one you want in between there, but you don't know exactly when it happened, you could just put it in date like 1925 or
Or you may just estimate the date. So,
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
About.
so
yeah.
so what did we get? We did not get the expected result, right? So now we have to figure out why. So it's a good idea to see something. So let's see where the document goes. All right, so I will enter some text. Oops. Um, Toots. Hmm. So I assume it's following the text. Let's see. Yeah, my test. So it's the second item. And I assume it's because of the date field. So do we have something here? No, both have nothing in the date. Okay. No. No. Maybe it's in the 19th. So by the way, did I use the correct image? There are two, right? Media details. Oh, okay, this is one
You
of
need
the.
to change your categories.
Yeah, he changed the shadow categories.
Didn't I change that?
Yeah, for the size.
As text? Oh, that's fine. Okay. Let's see what we get. Oh, it's still at the same position,
Hmm,
but we
odd.
start. Yeah, it's interesting. But before we started with her, right, and not with him.
Stuff live is always interesting.
Never wants to cooperate.
Yeah, that's always fun if something does not work the way you expect it to work, right? Okay. So I need to investigate this. But if we use the second person, so if we attach it to her, then it's going to work, right? As you have seen before.
Stefan, can you easily change that family of the starting person and just substitute the name of the person you've selected to do the tree about?
I have already written it down as an enhancement request. But as
Okay,
John mentions, if you do not let me know and just modify the Word document, how should I know about the changes you would like to see?
right. You're right.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
please.
As a former programmer, I understand.
yeah,
Yeah, so I have a long list of enhancement requests and I have to prioritize them. And if there are no users asking for those questions, the priority is low, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but I think
yeah,
you got the idea, right? So it's possible to add an additional document and
Okay.
to page break, but I have also written down that some users may want to start the media section on a new page, right?
yeah,
But I still assume that in your example, stop sharing. In your example, the pictures of the children should not be attached to the parents.
what's that
I
mean?
attach the pictures of the children, if they're specifically the children and their children, to the child. But sometimes I want a family picture, and then I
Yeah,
will include it with the parent.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, Okay, we're gonna go to that question Sheldon asked about the best format, PDF or Word. It should be PDF/A. So if you aren't going to do any editing and let's see here. Yeah, ideally you want a PDF/A document because like I said, the difference between a PDF and a PDF/A, fonts are embedded in the slash A. Uh, so because right now if I'd say send you just a straight PDF file, say if I use some custom or maybe if I use a font that you don't have installed on your computer, then your computer is going to substitute it with another font. So it won't look exactly the same. It may look close, but uh, with PDF/A, it doesn't matter if you've got that font or not because the fonts are embedded in the document. And if you do this in uh, if say there are certain edits you have to do in Word, uh, then save that final thing in let's see here. Oh, push. So here I'm just bringing up. Yeah, maybe I didn't have to do this big of a book, but yeah, then when you save it, you have the option of PDF, and then there's under an option here, you can tell it to make it that PDF/A compliant.
Ah, okay, great.
So that will embed the fonts. But like I said, before you ever do anything, you make any edits and stuff, well, like I said, this stuff has already been regenerated, but you want to Control A, then tell it to update everything. So, but anyway, but yeah, will, most sites will prefer it in the PDF/A format. So, are there any other questions? Otherwise, I think we can wrap this up and then, and well, like I said, next session will probably be starting about 9 hours from now. So, but like I
Thank
said,
you, John.
this will be uploaded and probably within a couple hours, and it'll be on the website. And I'll maybe make a post after both sessions are done. So, but anyway, well, take care and
All right.
see you in the
Thank you,
groups.
John, for
Likewise,
doing.
ask any
Thank you.
questions in the group.
Thank you,
So,
Stefan and John.
no,
Appreciate the help.
no
Yes,
problem.
thank you. Bye.
Okay, take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.